Great Friday morning, everyone. How are you all doing? This is your girl, Shan. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. First, I want to start off just like sincerely saying thank you. I know, from time to time I say this. Some of you all who catch me every day, I say it more often than not, but you do not know how amazing it feels when God has given a topic for me to talk about or me and my husband to speak about on our radio show. And people come back and share, keep doing what you're doing. Hey, this topic blessed me. Hey, me and my spouse are going through this. Me and my family is dealing with this. Like, that thing is so amazing. And so it's not for us to get the glory. Of course, ultimately, overall, it's that God get the glory. But we just want to take the time just to say thank you, because it does our heart good, especially when we're like, God, you know how when God tell you to do something, you're like, God, am I being effective? God, do you still want me to do this? And God is so funny, because every time I think that, like I always say, somebody come through and say, this was a blessing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into today's topic, but let me also let you know, all next week I will not be on. Good morning, Keela. All next week I will not be on. It will be spring break for our children. And so one of the things that we always speak and promote is that you spend time with your husband or your wife. You spend time with your family. You know what I'm saying? You spend time in your community. That's the motto for our show. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend time with our children on next week, because that's very important. And that actually also goes into what I'm going to be talking about on this morning. So again, this is one of those videos where it's encouraged that you examine yourself. Okay. I'll let you know how this came about. I was actually speaking to my braider on yesterday. Good morning, Miss Delia. And we were talking about some things that were just amazing. Okay. And I'm going to speak on it on today. So today's topic is what you're doing beneficial to your marriage / your family? Is what you're currently doing right now beneficial to your marriage / your family? Hey, Doug and Keisha, my brother and sister from the East Coast. Is it beneficial? And so, we so often, especially in marriage, want to be so quick to blame our husband or our wife. We want to blame someone else. Good morning, Alex, for the things that are going on and quote unquote going wrong in our marriage and in our family. But this is solely for you to examine yourself on today. Is what you're doing beneficial? Now, I know some of y'all's like, yeah, me working my job, yeah, that's beneficial to my family. Hey, cousin Kim, that is beneficial. Okay, good morning, Paula. Well, I'm not saying that it's not, but this is what I'm talking about. So many times I hear, let's start with our children. Nope, we're not going to start there. Let's start with what God gave me initially, and then we'll bring it back to the children. We'll bring it back to the husband and wives. Hey, Tamika, is what you're doing right now beneficial? God forbid something bad was to happen. Two, I'm trying to prepare your mindset. I don't want to speak no negativity over anybody. But what's to happen to your spouse or your family? And I mean demise. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be too dark. I'm trying to go somewhere. Demise happened. That means death. For some of you all do not know, where your husband or wife are taken away, your family is taken away. That is like my worst, you know what I'm saying? Situation for myself, but I be realistic. I am more realistic in my thinking. So say this happens. What would be with what you're doing right now? Good morning, Brandy. What would be your biggest regret? What would be your biggest regret at that time? If God forbid something, death happened, let me just speak truth to your spouse or your children. What would be your biggest regret with the actions that you're currently doing right now? Now, I'm going to tell this story. Me and a young lady was talking, right? And I'm not going to pinpoint, because some people be like, oh, she's coming against and bashing. No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to try to make it as plain as I can, but get the point across. This lady shared with my friend, who we happen to be in the same circle. Let me say it like that. We happen to be in the same circle. And this lady shared with my friend. My friend asked her, the lady's goal was to be a millionaire in this company that she was working in, was to be a millionaire. She busted her behind. She made the status. She was a millionaire. Hey, Melissa, exactly right. She attained her goal of being a millionaire. Her mindset was, what I'm doing for my children. You know what I'm saying? She made it and she attained it, and it took us some years to get there. However, she shared with my friend her biggest regret was the fact that she did all these things for her children. And when she achieved the status that she, her goal, and it was a goal for the family, when she achieved this status, her children were grown. So what she said her biggest regret is that she missed out on her children's growing up trying to attain this status for her children. Does that make sense? So she busted her behind, which entailed taking time away from her family to reach this status. She reached the status. She got the money. She's a millionaire. But the thing that she said she regret the most is that the time that she missed out on her children trying to reach this status. Now, the reason why I believe God put it on my heart to ask yourself if what you're doing is beneficial, if it's not promoting growth to your home, if it's not promoting growth in your marriage, you need to reevaluate what you're doing. I am guilty of this. When I tell you I'm guilty of this so many times over, okay? Good morning, Natasha. I'm going to put myself out there on Front Street, but I need you to think on this morning. I'm guilty of it. I remember, now in the military, it's a little bit different. I don't know how many of you on here have ever served. You sign a contract. You got to do what them folks tell you to do. I don't regret it. The military made me who I am today. So I don't regret that. I'm not bashing the military. But what I'm saying is when I think back and look at the adult children that we have, me and my husband, we have 3 adult children. We have 5 total. We have 3 adult children. When I look back, there are some things with our older children where I'm like, dang, I wish I would have did this. Dang, I wish I would have did that. But my thing was, I got to do this. Now, some of y'all are guilty of this. And this is the thing. I'm going to use this as an example. Say your husband or your wife, they come to you and they say, baby, say it's a wife, right? I'm going to speak from a wife's perspective. And say your wife is like, baby, I really would appreciate, you know what I'm saying, if we could just get away for the weekend. We don't have to spend a lot of money. Baby, we're in Texas. Can we just go down to Galveston Beach? Just get out of the area. I would really like to spend some time with you. If you as the husband or wife, because this go either way, say, well, I got to check with my job. I got to see, what the job need for me to do. I'm going to tell you right now, you messing up. Hey, Cassandra, I'm going to tell you right now, you messing up. You're messing up. Because what you're basically communicating to your spouse, listen to what I said, and I'm going to speak beyond the words. What you're basically communicating is that your job is more important than your wife. Okay? A better way to have been communicated that would be to say, baby, okay, go ahead and look at some places. Let me see if I could put the leave in and get the time off. That's the best way to communicate that. That way you're not saying the job is more important. How many of you all are guilty of speaking out your mouth this same thing that I just said? Oh, I got to see, if the job need me. I got to see what's going on at the job. But at the end of the day, and it's funny because me and my braider was talking about this on yesterday. And we were talking about in reference to the military, let me get off that. Anyway, let me keep it plain. We communicate that our job is more important. I'm about to go down some roads, right? So, say your child came to you. Now, us as parents, we generally promote that our child make good grades. You get out there, you do good things, and this child is holding on to the word and trying to make their parents proud by making good grades. So say your child has an honor roll event that's going to take place on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Where are people generally on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock? Or even if it's on a Tuesday, they're generally in church. So if the child comes home and say, Mom and Daddy, I made this honor society. My grades has been good. I've been doing good. I've been doing the best that you told me to do, Mom and Daddy. So I'm just so excited. I got my honor society and where I'm going to be inducted into the National Honor Society. And the first thing we ask as parents is, when is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be Wednesday at 7. Oh, well, what time you got to be at the school? I got to be there at 6:45. Well, I'll drop you off, but I got to be in church. I got to be at Bible study. What are you communicating to your child? You're communicating that you being in Bible study, and I'm not saying church, but you being in Bible study is more important than your child's induction ceremony. Ask yourself, what are you doing and if it's beneficial? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with y'all. From time to time, me and my husband talk about this, but the house fire really stopped me and my husband in our tracks. Even though we were doing big things in the community, we were in school, we were working, we were doing all the things. But that house fire, baby, set us on our back. You hear me? Not because we were suffering, because I believe that God said, okay, y'all doing good things, but I need y'all to slow down, because we kept running. We weren't paying attention to the things that was important. Ask yourself if it's beneficial. Ask yourself when your spouse or when your child comes to you and they say, they pouring out their heart and they're saying they want to spend time with you. What is the first thing that you say out your mouth? Because the first thing that you say out your mouth is the first thing that you communicate that's most important to you. Now I'm going to ask you this, and I'm not trying to be mean against the church. I'm not trying to be mean against the job, even in the Word of God in the New Testament. And it was more specifically talking to the males who were going to be in position in the church. I'm going to paraphrase. You find it for yourself. That's what God has been telling me to do, instead of give y'all the scriptures. Search the scriptures for yourself. See, what it says is get your house in order. Make sure your house is lining up. Because, baby, at the end of the day, Chantrell King don't want to live with no regrets. You hear me? If my husband comes to me and my husband say he really want to do something, spend time with me. If my husband say, let's break it down a little more plain. Yeah, baby, it's Friday night. It's date night. Everybody know Friday night is date night for the Kings, unless me and him agree that we gonna, we got something else going on or whatever. If he say, baby, I really just want to go in the game room, go in the cowboy room. I want to kick back. I want to watch movies with you. I just want to spend time with you and kick it. We can watch movies. We can fall asleep in each other's arms. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? He's really telling me and sharing his heart what it is that he want to do. But it's more beneficial for me to be talking to one of my girlfriends on the phone. Oh, okay, baby. Okay. How many of y'all guilty of that? How many of y'all are guilty of not being able to put that electronic leash down? Because it's more beneficial for you to be on social media and see how many likes you got and shares you got. It's more beneficial for you to be on the phone with the job, even though your tail just left a whole 10 hours of work. Because, I got to talk to my supervisor. Train your supervisor how to respect your time after hours. Train your supervisor about how you like to respect. You want them to respect. Look here, because your wife and your husband, hey Danielle, your wife and your husband, your kids, they're not calling you while you at work all day. You see what I'm saying? They're not on the phone to me. So when you are off the clock, when they no longer paying you those coins, you're not getting are you getting some overtime pay for talking on the phone to your supervisor past hours? I told you I was guilty of this. I'm telling on myself. Some may say, yeah, I want to start a business, okay. Communicated these things or whatever, but where's your husband and your wife in this situation? Where do your children fit into this equation? See, this is why so many marriages are destroyed. This is why so many families are destroyed. Because, see, the enemy trick us. Let's blame it on who it's supposed to be put on. The devil tricks us and tell us this in which we're doing is for the benefit of our family. Hey, Tiffany, but actually it's not. It's not for their benefit, because guess what? You can bust your behind for 21, 22 years straight. And then when you attained your goals, what did you attain? Yes, you attained this status. Yes, you have this title and whatever the case may be. But when you look around, you don't have a husband or a wife no more, because they got sick and tired of being placed on the back burner to your job and to your title in church and to your title in the community. They got sick and tired of being placed on the back burner, because you thought that was more important for the benefit of your family, but you also lost your family in the process. So that's why I asked what I asked in the beginning. And that's why I made it so plain. Is God forbid your husband or wife was to die, God forbid, tonight, they didn't make it home. God forbid something happened tragically at your children's school and your child didn't make it back. What is the biggest thing that you will regret? See, this is why I do not like to live with any regrets. The word of God already told us what it is that we need to be doing. Just like I think train up a child in the way that they should go so that when they get old, they will not depart from it. You know what I'm saying? How can you train up a child if you never there? How can you train up a child if your job is more important after hours? How can you train up a child if you always telling your child that everything else is more important to them? To you. So really, is it more beneficial to your marriage, or is it more beneficial to your family, or is it really more beneficial to you? It's more beneficial for you to have that title. It's more beneficial for you to be at every function at church. I told you guilty. We was dragging the kids in tow. You hear me? Now, Shan, you bashing the church. No, I'm not. Shan, go to church. You know what I'm saying? We are part of a ministry, but there needs to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? Every word out of your mouth do not need to be, I gotta go do whatever this external factor is, especially when you have your spouse that's pouring out their heart to you. And then you got your children. Because see, this is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. And some of y'all might not even have grown children, so you don't know. But this is what happened. What happens is when you ready to play husband now, when you ready to play wife, when you ready to put your children first, then they done went and they done found attention somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? We sit up here and wonder why it is that our children act out when they are begging. All they want is your time. Like I always say, my grandma has taught me love spells T-I-M-E to a child. All they want is your time. But you don't give it to them because everything else is important. Oh, it's more important for me to be the mayor of my county or city or whatever. It's more important for me to run for Senate and I put them on the back burner, but I'm trying to tell them it'll be beneficial for them in the long run. But see, my daughter goes out and she finds attention somewhere else. She goes and then we get mad at the kid. Why you acting out? Why is your grades dropping? Have you stopped and examined yourself what role you played in that? Probably not. I'm sure. Have you stopped and never asked yourself when it comes to your marriage, what role you played in that? Cause baby, one thing my little sister, 2 years younger than me, my little sister taught me this. Baby, I don't do no overtime. Unless that overtime is beneficial to my family, I'm not doing it. You hear what I'm saying? Well, Shan, we got this deadline. We had this deadline all week. We should have been working on this deadline within that 40 hours that I was up in here getting paid to do this job. You see what I'm saying? But see, what we don't understand, especially when it comes to the job, and it's been a song about this. Why are we not listening to the song, people? The more money you take, the more money you make, the more money they take. So if you basically break it down in numbers term, because I'm a math person, how much overtime are you really making once they tax that additional? Some people, and I used to tell my staff this when I was a supervisor, some people, don't kill yourself for no doggone overtime. Who gonna be there to take care of you when your family is gone? When your spouse is gone because they tired of you placing them on the back burner? Who gonna be there for you? You might want to pay attention, or like we used to say in the military, when we used to talk to our soldiers, NCOs and officers, it will behoove you to pay attention to your family. It will behoove you to pay attention to because you sit up here and everything else is important. That's what your actions say. That's what your mouth say. But then you sit up here and get mad when somebody else is giving attention to your wife, husband. You sit up here and get mad when some other chicken head is giving attention to your wife, to your husband, wife. At the end of the day, whose responsibility, whose shoulders did that fall on? I have spoke to so many people who their spouses have died, demised tragically. I've spoke to so many people who they say, I regret the fact because my children are grown now. And what happened when grown children, how many of y'all got grown children? When they get up in age, they move out the house, baby, they trying to live their best life. They're trying to do the things that you should have taught them to do, but they're out there in the world trying to figure out how it's supposed to be done. Good morning, Heather. So ask yourself, is what I'm doing beneficial? Is it taking more time away from my family? Or is it actually providing? Now, for a season, the husband and wife may agree that, hey, baby, okay, in order for us to get ahead, whatever, you go work this job, I'll go work that job or whatever. Even if you have to work some additional hours, ask yourself, are you balancing? Are you giving the same amount of time to your spouse and your family that you're giving to that job? Now, you may say, Shan, I can't do that. I'm working sometimes 50, 60 hours on the job. Baby, examine yourself. Because I had to ask myself several times when our youngest son was having difficulty in school, when I used to sit at this dining room table and I'm sitting there right now crying, like, Lord, is the child gonna graduate? You know what I'm saying? And I had to say, wait a minute, Shan, you got to be a mama. Me and my husband had to have that conversation. I even told the people at the job, and I'm about to quit my job. Oh, trust and believe. And thank God I did that, because our son is doing an amazing job right now in school. He just needed a little more help, a little extra help. So all those extra things I was doing, I had to stop it and focus on a child, because priority right now is my child. I don't want my child to be sitting up here failing, because I think it more important as a parent to be out here doing my title in the church, be out here doing my title as a supervisor. And people say, Shan, you really gonna walk away from a federal job? Do you know how hard it is for people to get into a government job? I could always go back to a government job, but I can't make up this time that I need to concentrate on my child. I can't make that up. Because we know as time go along, time is precious, and that's one thing you cannot get back. So that's why this video is saying, choose wisely in what you do. If you really value your marriage, you really value your husband or your wife, you need to listen. You need to listen. You need to apply. If you really value your children, listen to what they are saying. It's important for you, mama and daddy, to be at my honor society induction. Because I'm doing what you told me to do as a child, which is to make good grades. But then you would turn around and get mad if I'm that same child that's out here on social media all the time showing my whole backside. Have you ever wondered why grown-up people do that? Why they do that to get attention? They didn't get no attention at home. And them likes and them shares, that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's their attention. That's what's feeding them, because they never got their attention as a child. Have you ever wondered that? Have you ever wondered why it is? I don't understand. The parents are like this, because y'all have said this about some parents. The parents are good. I seen them at church, but why the child out here drinking all the time? Why they alcoholic? Why they on drugs? Why they out here showing they whole backside to social media, half naked on social media? They didn't get no attention at home. So they out here trying to get attention the best way they can. Why you think you got husbands and wives, because I see it all so often, and I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but you got husband and wives. You got the husband out here, he taking pictures with his shirt off, and he always naked on social media. You know what I'm saying? You got the wife out here, she all scantily dressed, and she taking pictures on social media just so she can get the attention that she should have been getting at home. Have you ever asked yourself? So before we get ready to judge somebody else about what they doing in their marriage, or what they doing with their children, or what they not doing, ask yourself, what are you doing or not doing that's beneficial to your family? Okay? To your husband or your wife. It will behoove you to listen. Quit making everything else more important. Even the word of God says, in a sense, paraphrasing, that your Jerusalem need to be taken care of. You can't be married talking about it's more important for you to go kick it with your homies. It's more important for me to go on girls' trips. Girl, you better get your house in order. That's what you better do for this skankalank be up here ringing your doorbell when you're not there. If you're not handling business at home, you see what I'm saying? You can't do nothing but be mad at yourself. Don't get mad at Queen. Don't get mad at Shan, baby. I'm just telling you the real. I'm telling you what I see. I sit down and have real conversations with people who tell me the things that they regret. I never want to live my life in regret. I don't care if that takes us backing down. You see what I'm saying? Drawing back from some things, and me and my husband evaluating. Because, baby, I don't want to be that wife out there in the street trying to find love somewhere else. And you might say, well, Shan, I don't try to find love. But, baby, let your husband not be complimenting you. Let you get up and you got that smell good on and you dressed all nice, and let him not compliment you. But soon as this fine man walk by, he got all the things. He done got out the vehicle. He fine. He smell good. He looking good. You know what I'm saying? And he compliments you. And all it takes, and that's why they say a fair start by communication. A fair start by communication. Let him tell you, wow, you sure looking nice today. That's some words that you hope that your husband would have told you. That's some words that you hope that your wife wouldn't have told you. And then you say, thank you. It's innocent. The next time he do it, you liking it because you realize you get mad at your husband or your wife because they're not telling you these things because it's too busy. They're too busy on this job and they're too busy trying to look good for the external, for the things outside your house, and let this fine man come by and tell you the same thing again, or this fine female come by and tell you the same thing again. And even though it's innocent, dang, every time I see you, ma'am, you looking nice. No disrespect. You like, thank you. Baby, you going to start to receive those compliments. I don't care who you are, especially when you're not getting it home. So don't come down on the kids, wondering why the kids are acting out when you're not doing the things and spending time with them at home, because it's the same thing that husbands and wives do. They'll begin to act out, baby. If hubby or wifey is not doing the things and saying the things in the house, they're going to begin to act out. Now, I'm not trying to justify for why somebody then had an affair, they cheating, whatever. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, take care of your own house and ask yourself, are you out here trying to start this business and Is that taking more time away from your family? Is that really beneficial for y'all? Because this is one thing I know as a parent before I get ready to go. As a parent, you can do what you want to do when you're single, baby. But as a parent, when you birth out that child, women, come on now, because we done gave birth to one or a whole bunch. I done gave birth to 4. When you birth out that child and you hear that whine, the baby crying, or you having a heart attack because you don't hear that cry, baby, then it no longer becomes about you. Okay? It's beyond you. When you say I do down at the altar, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case might be, in the courtroom or whatever. Me and my husband got married in the German courtroom. That's when we got married the first time. We renewed our vows at the altar. But I say all that to say, when you see husbands, your wife coming down and you sitting up here trying to hold back the tears because she looking fine in that wedding dress and you thinking about how you going to get under that dress later on that night. Come on now. Y'all know she ain't keep it real on Fridays. You see what I'm saying? I need you to keep that in the forefront of your mind. Okay, same thing for you. When you walking down, I seen my chocolate husband in that white suit when I was walking down the aisle, baby. I'm going to need you to keep that in the forefront of your mind. If you're not handling your business at home, trust and believe that the devil is going to help you further separate from your family and from your spouse. So I just encourage you on today, handle your business. Your girl Shannon will not be on all next week because I'm going to handle my business. I'm going to be about my children. I'm going to be about my family like I'm telling you to do. One thing that I can't stand before I get ready to go is somebody who you set up here and you tell people to do stuff, you advise people to do stuff and all this other stuff that you're not even doing yourself. So we grew up on that. Do as I say, not as I do. Baby, that ain't going to work for the 2019. That might have worked in 1985, but it's not going to work for the 2019. So you need to start doing as you do. Okay? Doing as you do. So just go ahead and apply this good old knowledge. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'll play some good old throwbacks. I'll post some marriage mornings with the queen throwbacks or purpose to do that if God says the same. But I want y'all to ask yourself, is what you're doing beneficial to your marriage or your family, or is it destroying your marriage or your family? Okay? You can't blame nobody else but yourself. Sorry. So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Have an amazing weekend. For those of you who are celebrating spring break on next week, y'all enjoy it. Your family time, whatever it is you're going to do. Your girl Shan will be back with you, not next Monday, but the Monday following. So don't let anybody steal your joy. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. And y'all share this because it's free. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless and blessings to you.